Hey everyone, what's up? Welcome to the first official Bay Area FPV live stream. We're going to give everybody just a couple minutes to get in here. While that's going on, I'll say what's going on to Tim and Zach. How you guys doing? It's Friday. I hope everybody's doing good. I know it definitely could be worse. Mondays are worse. Howdy, Tim. Are you from Texas? Hey, Ozon. Hopefully I said that right. If I didn't, I apologize. Hey, Zach. So we're going to wait just a... oh, Ozzy, that's right. Okay, I just... hey, Ozzy. Texas Tim. All right. Hey, Ikuiku. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. So today on the live stream, there's a few things that I wanted to cover. A couple of them around the Cannonball 800. And then one of the things that I've been asked a lot is how do I get the gauges from the speedometer and, for instance, the G-force that I used on the last Cannonball 800 video onto the footage. So that's something that's done within the GoPro Quick software, and we're going to go over that as well. Also, throughout the live stream, feel free to ask your questions about videos that I've done, about general FPV questions if you've got any, or about the channel if you've got any questions. I see one, for instance, right here by Kuiku. It was, what part of the Bay Area are you from? Well, we are in the South Bay, around the, most of the videos that you see on the channel are done from Baylands Park. For instance, the last Cannonball video was filmed at Baylands Park, and there's a lot of people that come out and fly there. So, if you are also in the Bay Area, you should come out and fly with us. So in regards to the Cannonball 800, some of the questions that I've had especially from a couple people who also have the Cannonball, yes, Dream FPV, I am in California. I am in the San Francisco Bay Area, South Bay to be exact. So on the Cannonball, there's a few people who have the frame and are pretty much ready to do their maiden. They're just waiting for the weather to clear up and permit. But when you have such an expensive rig, you really don't want to leave anything up to chance. So they've reached out and they've seen, how the maiden flight went, and even the second flight on this that I put up on YouTube, how well it went. There weren't any issues, and they've asked, what's the tune? So there's a couple things I can give and I want to give out here. So APD has a baseline default tune that they recommend for anything around the 800 millimeter to 1 meter range. And it's in the APD 120F3 manual that they have. So I'm going to put a link to that down in the description. It's not there yet. It will be after the stream. I'll add it there. And in that manual, they give you the base PIDs and rates, as well as the filters that work well, and it gives you something to start on. I used that, and I've tuned it a little bit differently. I went in and I also changed the pole count on the motors from the default 14 up to the 18 that these motors have. That really only matters for RPM if you're going to be doing that. But I figured let's not leave anything up to chance. And hey, what's up, boss? FPV? Thanks for joining us. One second here, guys. Okay, so I'm going to jump right over to the Betaflight screen really quick so we can go through those the settings that I've got for the Cannonball. So here on the main configuration screen, I'm running ProShot 1000 I have the motor idle throttle value percent set to 10. Now, some of you might say like, wow, that's high. And it is high, but these are super low kV motors, and it's a heavy rig. It's, you know, the thing's 10 pounds, 13.7 ounces, all up weight with the batteries. That's pretty damn heavy. I don't know what that translates to in the metric system, apologies, but it's an 11-pound rig, so it's heavy. And as you can see here, I'm just running the 8.8, and this is on the Brain FPV Radix flight controller, and I believe I'm running Betaflight 356. Yes, right up here, 356. I do plan to take it to 4.0, but I'm going to let them first off get that out of the RCs and into a GA build, and then I think I'll probably let it go through a couple builds before I put a new build on a $2,000 rig. So Tim's got a question. Do you recommend sticking pretty close to the PIDs that were recommended by APD? I think that that's going to be a little subjective, right? So that'll give you a good baseline for an X-class rig, for something that's a lot heavier than a 5-inch, and it'll give you kind of the default tune that you're used to when you have your standard 5-inch or 6-inch quad and you just flash it with Betaflight, and it gives you that really just baseline feel without any tune. That's what the APD PIDs are going to do. They're going to give you that baseline. So if you don't want to tune, don't know how to tune, you could fly it with that and it'll fly okay. But I think what a lot of people will do is they'll use it as a foundation to build upon to then tweak it to their liking. Some people like snappier rates, some people like smoother, you know, floatier rates. I'm somewhere in the middle. So over here off the configuration page, let's go over here to the rates. So what you can see here are the PIDs and rates that I'm currently using. This is what I'm using on the videos that you see on YouTube for the Cannonball 800. So, and I personally feel like it flies very well. There is a tiny bit of vibrations. I think if anything, I might try and drop the roll P down to 79, see how that goes. Maybe 78, see if I like that. Maybe jump up the roll D to 52, but I'm really happy with how it's going right now. And as you can see, they're really laxed rates. A lot of that for me is because of the weight, right? When you're flinging this thing around at close to 100 miles an hour at 11 pounds, it gets up a lot of inertia. And when you go to snap that thing back with extremely high rates, you could flip out one of the motors, mess with the gyro, you put it into a spin, and it ultimately put it into the ground. And well, I'm not interested in doing that. So let's check out the filters now. So for the filters, this is actually left exactly how APD recommended it. Biquads up top with 40 and 40 on the bottom. Actually, Tim asks the questions. Do you make any changes to the filters on Betaflight? And the answer was no. These filters are not set up by default when you flash your flight controller with Betaflight. So you will need to go in there and set these up. But these are the basic filters that APD recommends for the X-Class builds, specifically the APD 120F3 ESCs. So that's pretty much it. That's the Betaflight tune for the Cannonball 800. So yeah, it's quite a fun beast. It's amazing to fly, and I can't wait to get it back out there again. Unfortunately, we've got some rain here this weekend, so hopefully that moves on quickly. Okay, so I am going to quickly jump in here and just do a giveaway. So this is a little impromptu giveaway, and this is going to go to the first person who can name something. So let's just jump over here really quick, talk about what I'm going to give away. So I have 4 of these brand new Lumineer 30 amp BL Heli ESCs 2 to 4S. As you can see that they're all right here right now. And I'm going to give these to the first person, and this is international. I'll send them to you. You don't have to pay for shipping. So this is an international giveaway. First person who can answer in the chat, what was the name of the first quad that I did a build video for here on the channel? Go. All right, well, while we're waiting on the person to come through and answer that question for those ESCs, mutton chops, no. All right. Those are funny. All right, Tim, you're going to watch and find out who it is that answers that question correctly. By the way, you're not eligible to win, Tim. So, you know, I'm going to take this this opportunity here, by the way, to thank Tim for volunteering to help out today. So he, you know, he's moderating the chat just to keep it PG. You know, just in case we have some kids or some, you know, people on here who don't want to see things get out of control. Tim's volunteered to go ahead and take care of that. So thank you, Tim, for doing that. Anyways, so the ESCs are still up for grabs. Tim, watch for somebody to name that. Paid gig, dude, you can, nope. All right, so let's get to the question that a lot of people have asked, which is, how do I put the gauges on my GoPro footage? So I'm going to show you guys how to do that here right now. All right. All of this is done from within the GoPro Quick software, which you can download for free on GoPro's website. And you can then import your footage directly from the Hero, or you can pull out the SD card and put it into a folder somewhere on your computer and then point to that location. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that this only works with the Hero 5, 6, and 7. They have to be a GPS-enabled GoPro, and I do believe that those three are the only ones that have that functionality currently. Another thing to keep in mind is that you need to have the GPS enabled on the camera, and I would recommend turning the camera on about a minute or so before you press record to go fly. And what that'll do is that will allow the camera to acquire the GPS satellites and get an accurate reading. So once you've done all that and you've recorded and you've got your footage with all of that GPS data embedded into it, you need to be able to get the gauges actually on the screen. So you would go into the GoPro Quick software, select your media, and rather than going to edit or you open in create mode, you don't want to do that. What that's going to do is that's going to force you to use, looking at some of the, we have the Dream FPV and Papadoc FPV commenting on Hilda Beast and Hildegard. Good guesses, guys, but actually it was before either of those. So the ESCs are still up for grabs. Okay, so back over here, you do not want to create or open it in create mode because that's going to force you to use GoPro's editor, and I believe it wants you to select multiple 30-second clips, and then it's going to add one of their default audio tracks to it. It's just a mess. They're trying to create something for you. So instead, we're going to select the clip and then right-click on it, go to View. And as you can see here, I already have the gauges on here, but if they weren't on, you would just come down here to the bottom and go to Adjust Gauges. And then you can select any of these gauges. You know, let's take it back to how it would be if you just came in here. So you can go ahead and put the GoPro logo, info, blah, 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 blah. And so for me, on the latest Cannonball video, I wanted the speedometer and the G-force. So I just chose those two and clicked Save. Now, that's great, but we don't have it actually overlaid onto the video. So what you would do is you would come down here to the scissors or create a clip, click that. Takes just a second for it to come into the next screen. Now this is where it's going to actually do the overlay and export it. So you want to make sure that the entire clip is selected and then just click save. And what that's going to do is enable you to name the clip, whatever it is you want, the quality of the clip, and save it. And then that's going to overlay the gauges or any of the other information that you did onto the footage, and then put it somewhere else. And then you can use that footage to go into Premiere or iMovie or whatever it is that you use to edit your videos, and you can edit it as normal. So I've been asked that question a lot by several different people, so hopefully that helps. Okay, let's look back here at the chat. So Dream FPV Finwing Saber. So kind of, but I was speaking specifically to a quad build video. It's almost over, Speed Demon. No. Yes, Tim just hooked you guys up, gave you guys a nice little hint there. It is not the Hilda Beast. But on that note, let's talk about the Hilda Beast for a second, because I've also had some questions asking, where is the Hilda Beast? Why hasn't there been a... actually, the Impulse RC Alien Aussie was a more recent build that I did. So what I'm looking for is, what was the first quad that I did a build video for here on the channel? Whoever answers that first gets the ESCs. Society 808. That wasn't a build video, I don't believe. That was just a flight video. I mean, like a detailed tutorial build. If you didn't know what you were doing, you would be able to watch this video and put your own one of these together. So on the note of the Hilda Beast, what is going on with the Hilda Beast? Well, let me tell you. I've got the Hilda Beast right here. Let's see if I can bring it down without breaking everything. So the Hilda Beast, it's a mess. So it's fully intact. But we have been combing through Betaflight black box logs, trying to determine what it is about this particular setup, the combination of electronics, that almost every single time we fly it, every single time, it ends up acting like a missile or a lawn dart and going straight into the ground, breaking all of the propellers, costing, you know, quite a bit, because those propellers aren't cheap. And so I believe that one of the motors perhaps has a faulty bearing. It might actually... Thank you very much, the Craft King. I appreciate that. I think that one of the motors might actually have a bad bearing. We're looking at the Betaflight logs from the Hilda Beast's last flight, and it just it points towards either a voltage spike and then the ESC going into a protection mode, or a faulty motor. So we're going to test the motors first by simply swapping them out with different motors. And if it continues to happen again, then I will be sending Tony from APD the electronics back so that he can do some testing, because I would love to get the Hilda Beast back in the air, but I'm not going to continue to put... Last hint, it was before the special video. Nothing. One of the things that I will be people who have posted onto the Bay Area FPV for are seasoned pilots, new pilots, everything to highlight in a future live stream. And so it'll be, I feel it'll be a good way to... This is going to be mainly for people that are here local to the Bay Area in California. Is we've got a few things planned for this year, specifically, you know, within the next couple of months will be the first one. We're going to be setting up a barbecue / get together. Haven't ironed out all of the details that anybody who is local to the area or close enough to where they feel like traveling would, you know, come down and join us. And it's just going to be a great time. There's going to be people, there's going to be giveaways, there's going to be tutorials, there's going to be on-site, you know, build a quadcopter before they could get in there on the sticks with, of course, we'll have Steam who can name the name the quad that was built in the video, just the name of it, then we will roll it over into the next one, because I do plan to have some sort of a giveaway or something on each one of the live streams. So again, we'll just roll this into the next one if not. I would like you guys to leave comments down below letting me know what you thought of this live stream and letting me know if you have any ideas on items that you would like me to cover in future live streams. And also, if you want to submit any ideas and you don't want to do it in the comments, you can go over to bayareafpv.com/contact, and that'll bring you here to this contact page. Sorry guys, I'm pause 1 second. I just it appears that the comments have stopped coming through for me. So 1 second there. Apologize for that. Yes. Okay. I am sorry, guys. I apparently had I had an issue with my chat feed over here, and because of that, I wasn't able to see it had frozen. So at any rate, it appears here that it's almost over. Got it right. So there it is. It's almost over. Send me a message over here on the bayareafpv.com/contact with your information, and I will get these ESCs sent out to you right away. Craft King, I was not aware that Bardwell had problems with that on his beast build. Now, when you say his beast build, I'm assuming that you're meaning the Catalyst Machine Works Tasmanian that he just did the build series for. If that is true, then I will have to watch that. But I do believe we're definitely getting onto it. And hopefully, as more and more people begin to get into the Beast class and into the X class, these issues, although it sucks that they're going to happen, they are going to happen. But hopefully that we can work as a community to address them, figure out what they are, get to the root cause, and iron it out and move past them. So yes, the Taz. Okay, great. So who won? Let's see, who did win? It's almost over won, according to Tim. So he was, yeah, he said it right back there after Papadoc FPV said the Saber Wing. It's almost over came back with Vector, and that was the correct answer. It was the Kinetic Aerial Vector was the first detailed build for a quadcopter that I did on the channel. So again, yeah. And hi AFPV, what's up? Bay Area FPV, what's up? How are you? Hopefully you're having a good Friday. And yeah, choppy here too for some reason. Sorry about that, guys. We'll get this ironed out. This is the first live stream, so bear with me. There's definitely going to be some kinks in this, and hopefully it'll get ironed out as things go by. I will say I have a whole new appreciation for people who do live streaming, especially when they're doing it with themselves or one other person. It's quite the effort. So at any rate, yeah, so submit any questions in the chat here. You can also submit them down in the comments below if you find there was something that you'd like to ask, and I'll either answer them back in the chat or cover them in a future live stream. If you'd like to submit a video, you can for posting into the next live stream. You can either put it down in the comments, or you can, like I said, go over to bayareafpv.com/contact and reach out to us there with any of your questions or suggestions, or simply submissions for a video that you might like to have highlighted. Tim Rodriguez, that Vector was a sweet build. Thank you. It took quite a little bit of time, and there was some effort put into the video as well. So Craft King on the Taz, I actually have one. I've got it in, it hasn't begun being built yet, but I do have it. I was able to get on the first shipment of frames from Neil over at Catalyst Machine Works. So I've got the Taz with the blue TPU bits, and I'm hoping to do I'm not going to do a build video. I was going to, but it just seems a little silly for me to do a build video on the Taz when not only has Joshua Bardwell done his own build video that was very good, but Neil over at Catalyst Machine Works did an excellent job on getting straight to the point and doing a build video on the frame itself. So I'm not going to, I probably won't do a build video on that. I mean, unless you guys say otherwise. If there's some reason that you would like to see a build video from me on the Tasmanian, let me know. I'll do one. Perhaps you like my style. Yes, it's almost over when the ESC. Exactly. What's up, FPV girl DD? And XZLR8 accelerating. Okay, so the Craft King was asking where is the barbecue going to be at, and that he would watch a build video of the Taz. So thank you. I may very well go ahead and do a build video then. It doesn't take a whole lot. I mean, I'm already going to be doing the build, and all I have to do is just record it. So I may go ahead and do that. As far as where is the barbecue going to be, we're still ironing out all of the details. I would say there's a pretty good chance that it may be Baylands, and the reason for that is most people know where that is. They have quite large barbecues, if any of you have ever been there before. They have a ton of seating. It's something that I can reserve, so I can, you know, just simply reserve both sides of it, and then I don't have to worry about anybody else coming in and saying that they had reserved it for whatever. It's just easier to do. So it may very well be Baylands Park in Sunnyvale, where we fly quite a bit at, but it's not decided that that's where it's going to be. So if there's somewhere else in the Bay Area that is a park that we can fly at, that has you know, a decent amount of open space, that also has built-in barbecues, please let me know here in the chat what park that might be, and we'll definitely look into it. Tim, you want to see the Taz? No. Tim's going to build the Taz. I'm not going to build this one. I'm going to watch him build it and teach him how to build this Taz. So one of the things with the Taz, and for that matter, the Hilda Beast, is it was interesting to me when Catalyst Machine Works brought out the Tasmanian frame, and then suddenly there was this uproar of everybody was like, oh my god, it's Beast class. There's a 500+ millimeter frame that's somewhere in between X class and smaller, and we're going to call it Beast class. And it was like they had never heard of it before, and I was shocked, because the Hilda Beast has been out for a long time. Like I've had this thing for, gosh, months now, and months before the Taz frame ever was even thought of. It's just interesting how and please don't take this the wrong way. I'm not saying anything against Catalyst Machine Works, but it's interesting how a company that is extremely well known can come out with an idea much later, but yet still be credited for the initial thought. Something to think about. Tim is much better at destroying the quads. I will agree with that, this guy has, but he's a great pilot. He's a great pilot. Definitely, you guys should go check out his channel. He's, he has quite the repertoire of videos there. He can fly very well. But I do fix most of his quads at some point or another. He will come back over and hand me this mess that I can't really decide what it is. And somewhere underneath all the dirt and grass is a quad. Craft King, nice. Never been there, but it's close enough. And he knows a guy that owns a brewery near open land in Winters. Might be a future spot for an event. Definitely, I am all for that in all ways. The brewery and an open spot, and actually going up to Winters. It's something that I've wanted to do anyways. So guys, I think that that's going to about wrap it up for this time. I want to say thank you to everyone for taking the time to join this stream. I hope you guys enjoyed it. There's definitely going to be future streams. I think that I'm going to try and do this either weekly or perhaps bi-weekly. Might start out with bi-weekly and then move to weekly. But I do appreciate everyone coming out and joining us on this live stream today. Hopefully you found it entertaining. Hopefully you come back for the next one. If you're not subscribed to the channel, go ahead and consider subscribing if you want to, and click the bell so you know when. And yeah, I will see you guys next time.